Rwanda is sponsoring M23. They are out here funding M23 and they are facilitating the smuggling of our natural resources into Rwanda, where these minerals then get stamped, some illegal way of stamping it, and then yes, in the eyes of the law, international law or whatever trade, it then goes to America or to Apple or to the West or any other multi-tech company out there. But at the end of the day, it's blood money, it's blood mineral, it's blood, because it's what needs to happen is all these huge companies, all these big tech companies like Apple, Tesla, and all these people that all need this coltan for their lithium-ion batteries. They need to decisively sit down with the DRC Congo authorities, work out some sort of a trade deal between the two, so that they can then Congo can rightfully sell its own minerals, not allow to sponsor this militant group. M23 is not a recognized authority in the DRC Congo. So allowing them to continue to persist, continue to do this war over there in East Democratic Republic of Congo. And you, even Apple or this big company, if you steal these things or if you buy them from a thief, you are complicit.
Yes.
You are perpetuating the whole issue.
Yes.
You are encouraging it. You are facilitating. You are not part of the remedy. And you don't deserve to sit there and try to be a part of the solution makers, because you are the cause itself. You are the issue. You are the problem.
And as you say that DRC and those big tech companies, they should sit together. But now when they do sit together, this DRC government, they should at least put into that deal of how to create a safe working environment, a safe mining environment, like build something, a mine, where this coltan or cobalt is coming out of. And so those...
How can they do that when there's war in those particular regions? Most of the areas where this land is full of these resources is where this genocide is happening. These are a lot of the... Where... You see that coltan? You see the reason why we say 8 million people are displaced? Because these people are displaced for a reason. They are displaced because where they used to live is where the discovery happened. Where they used to live is where all these mines are, is where all this fortune is where all this coltan is.
I get that.
So that's the war zone.
Yeah,
that's the war zone.
That's what I'm saying. It's, you know, they should actually think of all of this before they try to sit down. And like you say, these people were displaced.
But before they can even get to sit down and say, we're going to create proper minds here and there, you have to deal with the threat first. First is the threat. First is the empty. You see, think about it this way. Right here is where the coltan is, and right here is where they say, hey, you 8 million fools, you 8 million people, you 8 million Congolese, move right now, start running away, because otherwise we'll go crazy on you. So they come there and they start killing civilians left, right, and center, and then these people have no reason but to flee. So the perimeter is then made.
Yeah,
so
but then there should be some housing.
There should be what?
They should build some housing.
Who?
For these displaced, the government.
We're not talking about that first. We're talking about the war. We're talking about the war. You say they should create mines, and allow for proper mining to be done. We're not talking about housing. Where must they build housing? So they must just accept that these people moved us from our own villages. These people also want to go back to where they belong, to their own homes. Think about it this way. In Belleville, or in Taga Valley, or wherever you come from in Cape Town, there, some people come in there and forcefully move you from what's rightfully yours, your land. They move you away from you, and you find yourself in Eastern Cape. So you're gonna accept the defeat and want to stay in Eastern Cape, or you're gonna forever wanna go back to where you belong, to your land. That's what you're gonna want. Even a lot of those people in those particular lands, they had their rightful land. They had pieces of paper, like the chiefs in towns, like the locals, all of those people. They had, just like if you were to go to any other African country, for example, Sierra Leone, where I've been, when we go to the mines in Sierra Leone, we go uptown, we go all the way to Kenema district, we go all the way to Kono or whatever. You don't just get there and it's just a mine over there and it's just the land over here, start drilling or whatever. You get there, there's structures too. There's an old man, there's the chief. You have to go and see the chief. The chief has paperwork too. Regardless of his situation, regardless of how poor the surroundings look like, besides the fact that, yes, a bag of rice means a lot to him.
Yes.
He's the person in charge, and you have to respect him. So when you think about this North Kivu or South Kivu, you must think about these people, these different structures that existed there.
Yeah, okay.
And now you got M23 who's coming in there and it's just disrupting everything, killing these people, committing a genocide.
Yeah.
A war zone, completely a war zone. So they're out there disrupting that particular structure that works.
Yeah.
Because even these particular Chinese company or foreign companies that end up buying mines, when they come there, they have to take care of the locals.
Yes.
But now M23 is out here disrupting that whole mission. And you have some of these foreign companies where these mines are sold to, somehow I'm sure they sort of like try to take care of the locals here and there. But all of that way of being, all of that tradition when it comes to mining.
Yeah, okay.
Because a lot of mining happens in Africa.
Yes, of course.
There are some places in this world where people mine this, that, these
But,
minerals, whatever. But in Africa, the way it works, regardless of which mineral, not just coltan, gold, diamond, any types of these mining, you take care of the locals.
Yes.
In this case, the locals are displaced. The chiefs, the generals, the elderly people in the local communities
Yes.
around these mines, they are displaced, and so their families and kids and wives and women all move. Now we're talking about 8 million people displaced. 7 point something or 7.2 or 7.3. We're gonna round it off.
Round
to
it
8.
up.
8 something like that. Millions of people displaced. So we're talking about a lot of people, a lot of land. Talking about North Kivu, talking about South Kivu. That's where a lot of this mineral, this cobalt, coltan is. You understand? So
Yeah, I get it.
before you can even start talking about housing for these locals, wherever they move to at these displacement camps, you have to rectify the issue. You have to deal with the threat. Because but then doing is you are accepting the defeat, you are accepting the cause, you are saying to yourself that M23 or M24, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 can come in here in Congo, displace people, and what you have to do, your responsibility as a government is to create housing for other people.
Okay, no.
You cannot. You have to deal with the threat.
Yeah.
You have to deal with Paul Kagame.
Yes.
As the president of the DRC Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, enough talking. You can't be sitting out here conducting interviews with different journalists, France 24 or whatever, BBC, whoever comes there, Al Jazeera, anybody.
Yeah.
It's time for action. Time for talking when it comes to M23 has long come and gone. It's time for action.